This is ABC7 News at 11, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good morning. Thank you for staying up late with us and joining us on this Tuesday morning, what feels like a late night here for all of you. And we will have more on that Golden State Championship win coming up in sports. But first, our top news stories. Tonight, honoring the victims and survivors of the Pulse nightclub shooting on the anniversary of the worst mass shooting in U.S. history, people gathered across the country today for tributes and memorials. In Orlando, hundreds gathered at the nightclub even before the sun came up to be part of those services. ABC's Janae Norman has more from Orlando.
Bright lights and signs of love, 365 days after one act of hate and the darkest night in the city of Orlando.
When the sun rose on June 12th, we were not defeated. We were devastated. We were brokenhearted, but we were not defeated.
Though still brokenhearted, instead of focusing on the chaos and heartache from the morning of June 12th when a gunman opened fire inside the packed nightclub and took hostages, leading to a nearly 3-hour standoff, a year later, the city is celebrating.
We have talked about love so much in the last 365 days. We have talked about how Orlando is love and how love will prevail and how love is stronger than hate.
Go ahead, give somebody a hug today.
All day and all night, steady crowds stop by Pulse nightclub, taking pictures, hanging signs and balloons, offering support, all while remembering the 49 people whose lives were cut short.
Luis Daniel Wilson Leon.
Luis Omar Ocasio Capo.
And honoring the survivors.
We can't begin to know or understand the depths of darkness that you've experienced over the last 12 months, and we can't begin to know or understand your pain. We can't begin to know or understand the burden you carry, but we can promise to be there for you.
Ceremonies honoring the victims and survivors have been going on for nearly 24 hours across the city. The day was deemed Orlando United Day, with the underlying message to spread love and kindness, not hate. Janae Norman, ABC News, Orlando.
As survivors and loved ones of the victims continue to recover from the attack, the state continues to offer services to help. Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi says so far, the Division of Victim Services has distributed $500,000 to pay for several services. Nearly $290,000 has gone toward funeral expenses for the 49 victims. $105,000 has gone to medical treatment. More than $40,000 has gone to mental health claims. $60,000 has been allocated to wage loss and loss of support claims. The Attorney General has also received an $8 million grant from the Department of Justice that will also go towards supporting Pulse victims and their families. In Sarasota, friends of one of the victims killed in the Pulse nightclub shooting spent tonight honoring the victims and survivors. Edward Sotomayor Jr. lived most of his life in Sarasota. He was the first victim identified in the shooting last year. Those who knew him honored his memory with a tribute tonight. Community members gathered at Payne Park for a balloon release. There was a white balloon for each victim of the shooting. The blue balloon represented all of the survivors, while a red balloon represented the love, strength, and hope for their families. Though this was a small event, those who attended say that it has a big message.
I think it's important for people to honor these magnificent folks and to make a statement to the rest of this city and country that there still is discrimination, there still is hate, and something like this has to change it.
Organizers say they wanted to do something casual and low-key for Sotomayor today to honor his more personal side, while also including everyone who was impacted by the shooting. Manatee County also remembering the victims of the Pulse nightclub tragedy. A special service and event was held this evening in Bradenton commemorating the lives that were lost. ABC7's Rick Adams talked with some of the people who were there.
Well, there were a lot of folks at this event and a lot of emotion. The victims who lost their lives in this horrible massacre 1 year ago were being remembered. Members of the Manatee County community came together Monday night at Manatee Unitarian Universalist Fellowship to reflect on the 49 lives lost during the worst mass shooting in U.S. history at the Pulse nightclub in Orlando. Corinne Woodland of Bradenton felt compelled to be at this event.
It's very important to have a place where we can heal together and grieve together and
talk about how we can move forward and make things better and safer.
Healing is what took place here as the group prayed, heard readings, and sang some very touching songs.
It's so important that we recognize and reach out and love one another during times like this when it seems like the world is such a hurting place. This is a time to look each other in the eye and say, I know who you are and I love you.
One of the highly emotional parts of the event took place when the faces of all 49 people who had been killed were being shown, including Sarasota resident Edward Sotomayor Jr. Reverend Glenn Grotchek of the St. Mary's Episcopal Church in Palmetto led the gathering in readings and prayers.
It touches all of our hearts, whether we're part of the gay community or not, because they're all of our sisters and brothers.
A lot of the diversity was showcased with the different colored roses in the 49 different vases, representing each of the lives lost. It's an event that was hosted by Manatee Pride Prism Youth Initiative.
Hope that people come away from this with a sense of reverence and resolve.
And events like this were echoed everywhere. 49 lives lost, but certainly not forgotten. Reporting from Bradenton, I'm Rick Adams, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Rick. And in other news tonight, an airport worker was taken to the hospital after crashing a vehicle into a plane at Sarasota Bradenton International Airport. The worker was approaching the plane to unload bags when airport officials say either the brakes failed or he missed the pedal. The cart went under the plane, scraping the bottom of it. The worker was shaken up but did not seem to be hurt. He was taken to the hospital as a precaution. The plane did receive some minor damage. It was unloaded and inspected to make sure it was able to fly safely. The U.S. Coast Guard is removing navigational markers from new paths, which could create a hazard for boaters. The markers will be removed as early as Wednesday, depending on the weather. The channel was dredged just last year, but it shifted almost immediately. The shoaling was intensified by hurricane season. Since then, it has become too much for the Coast Guard to keep up with. Boaters can still use the channel, but at their own risk. The Coast Guard also plans to put up warning signs to alert boaters of the dangerous shoal. And now for a check on our forecast, let's head over to Bob. We've had a lot of rain, Bob, and this week may even include some more.
Yeah, I've gone through that pass many times too, Haley, as far as boating is concerned. And tell you what, local knowledge is key there. Captain Johnny Walker talked about that earlier. And also, when the weather's calm, you can see the different shoaling and where to go and navigate. But when it's kind of rough, like we saw this afternoon and evening, with the storms working by, it's a little bit more difficult. And you can see right now all the rain has moved on for the time being, but it'll be back tomorrow or later today. Showers and storms will be in the mix. And a little area right here, we didn't get much rainfall from just north of Venice through Sarasota and all the way up into Bayshore Gardens. But around it, quite a bit of rainfall, up to 3 inches in eastern portions of Sarasota County. And as far as temperatures go, into the mid-70s. It's warm. It's still muggy at this hour. Up and down the coast, we have a temperature now at 75 degrees in Northport, 75 in Englewood, and Mayaca City at 76, 77 at Anna Maria. More in our forecast coming up in a few minutes. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. In national news tonight, an update on the sexual assault trial of Bill Cosby. The jury has left for the night after deliberating for 4 hours without reaching a verdict. The defense taking just 6 minutes to make its case, calling a single witness to the stand. Also, for the first time during the trial, Cosby's wife appeared in the courtroom today. She showed no emotion during closing arguments. Cosby's attorney acknowledging that Cosby is an adulterer, but argued he is not a criminal. Prosecutors focused on Cosby admitting that he groped Andrea Constand after giving her pills that he knew could put her to sleep. He has pleaded not guilty. President Trump's travel ban is facing another setback after a ruling from the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. The court is rejecting the travel ban that would have blocked refugees and foreign nationals from 6 Muslim nations coming to the U.S. The 3-judge panel affirmed a Hawaiian judge's decision that the ban violated the Constitution. The judges said Trump, quote, exceeded the scope of the authority delegated to him by Congress. The White House says the administration is reviewing this decision, and it could head to the Supreme Court.
The president's executive order to protect this country is fully lawful and ultimately will be upheld by the Supreme Court.
The White House argues the ban was necessary to keep the United States safe from potential terrorists. The Federal Emergency Management Agency is one step closer to getting a new leader. A Senate panel is confirming President Trump's nomination of Brock Long. Long previously ran Alabama's Emergency Management Agency and served as the on-scene incident commander during the Deepwater Horizon oil spill in 2010. If confirmed by the full Senate, Long would take over the agency as hurricane season gets underway. The agency has already managed 41 disaster declarations this year.
I just want to say I'm sorry. And if and when you're ready, I look forward to sitting down with you very soon.
U.S. Representative-elect Greg Gianforte apologizing in court today as he pleaded guilty to misdemeanor assault. He admitted to body slamming reporter Ben Jacobs last month after Jacobs asked him a question. Gianforte apologized to Jacobs in court today. He had already written him this written apology as well. The two already reached an agreement also that kept Jacobs from suing the congressman. Gianforte will make a $50,000 donation to the Committee to Protect Journalists. Straight ahead, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your official Suncoast forecast for the week. Plus, the Florida legislature finally comes to an agreement on medical marijuana legislation. What regulations are set to go into effect if the bill is signed by the governor. And how some Suncoast students are spending part of their summer that will prepare them for a career in healthcare.
Northland Outdoors is about so much more than the biggest fish or the hottest hunting spots. All across the Northland, there are amazing people with incredible stories to tell. We're going to find those stories and share them with everyone. Join us each and every week as we explore the Northland and experience some of the most exciting outdoor adventures in the country right here in our own backyard. This is Northland Outdoors.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
I heard about the Detoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Detoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
Bob, late night, early morning. Yes. My voice is fading by the moment. We're just a ball of fun.
We're kind of happy that the basketball is over, you know.
Right.
Go through another late night, but so hockey's over now. Basketball's over. Now we have baseball. So
now we're got to focus on baseball.
Baseball
That's right.
Yep. And hurricane season too. We have that lasts for the next several months. And it looks like there's something maybe popping up here within the next 7 to 10 days. We'll talk about that in a little bit. This interesting shot of a large boat there traveling through Sarasota Bay with the Ringling Bridge in the background. Moving away from showers there. Give me shelter. Elizabeth sending that one in there. Look at this big shelf cloud. We've had a lot of these lately. Over the weekend, we've had Numerous pictures sent in to pics@mysuncoast.com. And this one from Dan Crawford. That was today at Big Pass. Pretty big shelf cloud. It's actually like a roll cloud out ahead of a very, very intense, heavy storm producing a lot of rain and a gust front. And that's a result of that picking up that warm, moist air and carrying it off into the distance. Vanways, a webcam showing the clouds around, all pushing off basically to the north and west. And that's what we saw today. A little bit of a nice sunset, a little bit of glimmer of sunshine there, but not much. And it looks like a Titan radar picture showing the activity winding down, but there's plenty of moisture still in the atmosphere. And what that means for us, a good chance for showers and storms again tomorrow, mainly late afternoon and evening. They had a late start today, a lot of clouds around. We'll see clouds in the morning too. Debris clouds left over from the storms earlier today, and some low clouds as a result of the rainfall there, and the warm, moist air still hanging around. But those showers are weakening and will fade away. There's a slight chance for an isolated shower or two right near the coast just after sunrise, but the main focus will be late in the afternoon. Well, the fire danger, we were talking about this. I know the news led with it several times about how the fire danger was very high and wouldn't be over until mid-June. But boy, a tropical system came through over the past week and a half and really brought all these numbers way down. In fact, look at that, 24 into Charlotte County. They were as high as 700. Some of those numbers just about 2 weeks ago. 76 degrees right now. We have some clouds. The dew point 72. Winds are out of the east-northeast at 7. The pressure 30.08 inches. That is on the rise. The high today was a hot one, 91 degrees. And the low this morning was 76, 89 is our normal. No rainfall report, but look at this. We are 5 inches above average for the month. And we are just about at average for the year in terms of the amount of rainfall. It was a very dry winter and early spring, but late spring, things have really shot up there as far as the rainfall goes. And more rain in store for us. Tomorrow, late afternoon and evening is our best chances, and some of that rain could be heavy. The atmosphere is just really juiced up right now, all up and down the Sun Coast. And as far as the wind forecast goes, it'll be very light, generally out of the southeast. There'll be a little sea breeze that'll try to kick in each and every afternoon, but it'll be pinned right near the coast. And so a good chance for coastal showers and storms right through much of this week. The Futurecast calling for clouds to start the day off tomorrow, and then showers developing just after, say, noon, and then intensifying in the late afternoon and evening, pushing off into the Gulf. Same story for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even into the weekend, although Friday's chances for rain a little less happening there. As far as the forecast goes for boaters, winds will be out of the east, 10 knots. There'll be a light chop on the bays and inland waters. The water temperature now at 83 degrees, low tide at 8:55 tomorrow morning or later this morning, and sunrise will be at 6:35. Tonight, mostly cloudy, still an isolated shower, not out of the question, 73 for a low, and it will be muggy. And then for tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies, isolated showers in the morning, scattered in the afternoon, a high near 88. The extended forecast, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of rainfall in the forecast, mainly in the afternoon and evening, right through Dad's Day and then Monday of next week. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. Governor Scott will hit the road tomorrow for another tour across Florida. The governor will visit 5 cities as part of his Fighting for Florida's Future Victory Tour following the end of the special session. The governor will discuss the increase in funding for public schools, the Florida Job Growth Grant Fund, more funding for Visit Florida, his big push, and money for repairing a dike around Lake Okeechobee. He'll begin the day in Miami before moving to West Palm Beach. He'll then head to Tampa tomorrow afternoon and end the day in Jacksonville. Florida's medical marijuana bill is on its way to becoming law. The Florida legislature approved the proposal on Friday, and now it will go to Governor Rick Scott's desk. Under the measure, Florida will have at least 17 medical marijuana operators in the state by October 1st. Each distributor can have up to 25 retail stores across Florida. Patients will not have to wait 90 days after seeing a doctor to receive a prescription. More patients will also qualify for those prescriptions.
There were the 8 immediate qualifying new conditions, including MS, Parkinson's disease, glaucoma, Crohn's disease, and a few others, PTSD, of course, being one very important qualifier.
All products must be oil-based and cannot be smoked, but Orlando lawyer John Morgan, who was really big in getting this law passed, is heading to state court to fight that issue. 15 Suncoast students are getting an introduction to the medical field thanks to Manatee Technical College. The group of students will spend the week at a healthcare careers camp at MTC. The program is designed to give the students an introduction to various medical careers. The goal is to help them fine-tune their plans by getting hands-on experience.
Students that are in middle school and high school, a lot of times they don't know what is out there that's offered or what they want to do at this time of their life. So with MTC, we're just allowing them to come to our camp to show what's out there, what they can get enrolled in, and what's possible for them for their future.
The camp is funded through a grant from the Gulf Coast South Area Health Education Center. Sports is next, but first, here's Jimmy Kimmel.
Here's a look at our post-game tonight.
We like older women.
No, just you specifically.
Specifically? Yeah. Well, what should we do? I mean, I'm available.
I think
so
we should finish this bottle of wine and see where it takes us.
It's Lincoln's summer sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKC Sports Utility for $249 per month or 2017 MKZ for $299 per month. We are proud to introduce the newest addition to the Lincoln lineup, the all-new 2017 Lincoln Continental. We have a great selection and ready for immediate delivery. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
Being the caregiver for my husband is truly a blessing, but sometimes it's easy to lose a part of myself. To be my best, for him and for me, it's important to have time to be able to recharge. When I called Tidewell Hospice, they gave me the chance to do just that. They helped me find the time to care for myself, all the while with the peace of mind of knowing my husband is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
The official salon of ABC7. Cutting Loose Salon.
Get ready for the most hair-raising event of the summer. Belt Entertainment and the Ringling Museum present international circus superstar Bello Knock in Incredibello, a gravity-defying, laughter-inducing, super stunt performance live at the historic Oslo Theater. Don't miss out on the must-see event of the summer, Incredibello, playing June 13th through July 29th. For tickets, visit ringling.org today.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help.
And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 1-800-764-8708. That's 1-800-764-8708.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. Now, sports.
The Cleveland Cavaliers were trying to stay alive in Game 5 of the NBA Finals, taking on the Warriors in Oakland tonight. Some strong defense from the Cavs to start off the game. First quarter, the score tied at 9. Kyrie Irving steals the ball from Steph Curry. He takes it all the way, makes the layup. Durant gets the inbound pass, but LeBron James intercepts and drives to the hoop for another layup. This was probably one of the best moments for the Cavs here. They go up 13-9. They end the first 37-33. The Warriors, though, make a very quick comeback. going up 71-57 near the end of the first half. But check this out. Cav Joe Smith nails a three with a second left on the clock to close on in 71-60. But it was basically Warriors from there on out. They take the game 129-120, win the series in 5 games, and reclaim the championship from the Cavaliers. The Pittsburgh Penguins, speaking of champions, have made it home with the Stanley Cup in tow. The team returned to Pittsburgh this afternoon after beating the Nashville Predators in the Stanley Cup final last night. A victory parade is planned for Wednesday at 11 a.m. Following the parade, the players, coaches, and other officials will gather on stage to give speeches to the town. Last year's parade brought in about 400,000 fans. It was the biggest celebration for any of the team's 5 Stanley Cup championships. So this one could be even bigger. Congrats, Pens. The Rays picking up Louisville pitcher Brendan McKay as the 4th overall pick in the MLB draft. McKay has shown potential as both a pitcher and a position player. The team says that they will watch him throughout the summer and help him develop his skills before they choose where he is suited best.
Have him evaluated as an elite talent both ways, both as a position player and as a pitcher. And at some point down the road, maybe the big game of baseball will slow him down, his development path in one of those directions, but we're going to let the game of baseball determine.
McKay is a pitcher and first baseman. He's also a 3-time winner of the John Olerud Award as best two-way player in college baseball. That's a look at sports. We'll have tonight's winning lotto numbers right after this.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
A Bradenton man called for backup when he found a slithery surprise hiding inside his car, well, under the hood. When the man's car would not start last Friday, he opened the hood to see what the problem was. Inside, he found a 3-foot-long ball python coiled on top of the engine. Volunteers with Wildlife Inc. Education and Rehabilitation Center came out to the scene, and within about 30 minutes, they were able to pull the snake out. The snake is now in possession of one of the volunteers. Just not what you want to find under the hood.
I don't know what it's all about. I saw 3 snake stories today on the social media. One was in a car. It came up out of the hood as the guy was driving. Another one was in an air conditioning vent that had a rat in its mouth and is pulling up back into the
That was the grossest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Crazy.
If you had a snake coming out of your air conditioning vent and pulling up a rat.
Yeah, it's not something you want to go to bed with.
No, I would never live in that house ever again. See you later today.